Hey everybody, how's it going? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, aka Noah, back again with this new video. And this is going to be my thoughts and review on the Max series on Creature Commandos because the show actually wrapped up a month ago. I will admit, it's better late than never because I've been busy with other projects, other things here and there. But again, better late than never. And I will be giving some spoiler talk because in order for me to give my full-on thoughts and review on this series, well, on the whole first season, I really want to just talk about spoilers. But so if you haven't seen the beginning or know that there will be spoilers in this video, don't say I didn't warn you, but you've been warned. So just get right onto it. What do I think about the series Creature Commandos? I like the series. I wouldn't say best show I've ever seen and not the best thing that James Gunn has created, but I really like it and I really enjoy it. And this is also the beginning of James Gunn's like DC Studios universe of movies that he is creating. I mean, I will also say that the show is very screwed up, I will admit, but in a fun and enjoyable way. Kind of like the 2021 Suicide Squad movie or Amazon Prime's The Boys. That's what this show is. I mean, it's screwed up. It's not so kid-friendly. I mean, it may be animated, but I mean, the target audience is for like DC fans and those to just, well, love and enjoy just rated R superhero stuff. But I will also admit that I am not too familiar with the Creature Commandos. Like, I have not read any of their comics. But maybe I will later on, just so I have a better understanding of who these characters are. Well, I'm a bit surprised that this is what James Gunn wanted to start with when it came to, well, starting over with the DC universe that he's making for live action, animation, and and shows, of course. So yeah, I mean, again, I like this series and I really enjoy it, but let's keep talking about this. So one things I do want to talk about are the characters. And the first character I want to talk about is Frankenstein. And funny part, he was played by David Harbour, aka the Red Guardian himself. I will admit, he had some stalker moments with the bride. And, well, I mean, there were so many dialogues that made me laugh. And, I mean, he was just stealing the show. And that's why he became, like, my favorite character in the series. But we also did have Dr. Phosphorus, who was played by Alan Tudyk. And I will admit, his origin was pretty tragic and pretty scary, I will admit. But also the fact that, like, he was human, but he was transformed into something that's not so human was just scary, but also cool at the same time. But also, I will admit, there were moments where I was laughing because of him. And yeah, he just became, like, my second favorite character in the series. So another character we had was Rick Flag Sr., who was played by Frank Grillo, aka Crossbones himself. I will admit, sure, he was pretty much just, well, he got his ass handed to him a couple times in the series, and he was leading the characters and the team, like, halfway through the series. But I get that they're just trying to save him for, like, other projects, because we will see him in, well, other DC Studios things that are coming later on. But I will admit that dynamic he had with Frankenstein, where they were just partners, they were fighting, it was just crazy, and that's one of the reasons why I like this character as well. I mean, again, sure, he might not have done a whole lot, but hey, I just really enjoy the character Rick Flag Sr. And of course, I have to talk about G.I. Robot. He was just hilarious as well, even though he was only a couple episodes, and yeah, I will admit, I was just laughing several times because of him, because he has this obsession for killing, even though he's a robot. And the fact that he's voiced by Sean Gunn, aka James Gunn's brother. I just like how every time James Gunn has a new project or a new movie to direct, his brother Sean is just going to be right by his side. They're always going to have a small role for him. But of course, we also do have the other characters, the Bride, Nina Mazursky, and Weasel. The Bride was just all around good. She had a very good story arc as well, and I like how she continues to lead the team on here and there. Nina, she was an interesting character, and I will admit, it does sadden my heart that they killed her off, and I was just shocked that they just did that. But also, I will admit, same goes for Weasel. Like, his origin was tragic, and I was like, I will admit, I was not expecting his origin to go like that. But yeah, I will admit, there were shocker moments. Because these are characters that, like, they were human, but they were just transformed into something that's not human. Hence why Amanda Waller wanted to put together, like, another Suicide Squad, but that's full of monsters. So, yeah, understanding on why this whole thing was happening and why Amanda Waller wanted to put together a new Suicide Squad team. Now, I do want to talk about the villains, and those would be Circe, but also we do have the villain Clayface. I will admit, I'm not too familiar with the character, but a bit surprised that James Gunn picked a very underrated villain to be part of this series, and Clayface. I mean, even though he was only in one episode, yeah, he was like another one of my favorite characters. Quite enjoyed him a lot, and I can't wait to see him in live action right next to other DC Studios characters. So yeah, I will admit, they did Clayface just the right way, so that I am happy about. And I will admit that there are some little things about the series that I am 50-50 on, but I just learned to roll with it. But that's also just because this is the beginning of James Gunn's DC movie universe. Because if you know anything about James Gunn, I mean, this is obviously the same guy that directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, obviously the 2021 Suicide Squad movie, and the Peacemaker series. But I will admit, I love how James Gunn just has a thing for eyeballing like the most underrated characters in the world of comic books, and then just makes them a lot more popular, not so underrated, a bit more likable, fits them in the modern day. And that's what I like. I mean, he now has the keys to making DC movies happen, and is just making like his own DC universe that is all just beginning. Like, James Gunn does have a plan for everything. He has a dozen, movies, TV shows planned out and everything. I mean, so far this year, we also have David Cornsweet's upcoming Superman movie. We also have Peacemaker Season 2 that takes place in this new DC universe. And of course, we also get teased that there will be a new Batman in this universe. So yeah, James Gunn does have a plan, he has a system, and all the characters that we saw in the series, we will see them in live action, and I can't wait to see what they look like in live action, because sure, they might be either CGI'd and or makeup, but hey, I am just glad that James Gunn has a plan, and I can't wait to see these characters for like the second season, because again, I really like and enjoy the series. I mean, again, there were some little things that I was a bit iffy on, but I just learned to roll with it, and I will admit that, again, I can't wait for Season 2, because in Season 2, we will have other characters, and we will have some other familiar faces. Like, they pretty much teased us with some characters, but those characters would be Nosferatu, who's very much a female vampire. We also have this mummy character named Khalees. And we will have the return of G.I. Robot, who I am glad that he is coming back, but I will admit his new body makes him look a bit more like the Hulkbuster Iron Man suit. But also, we will have the return of King Shark in the series. And I will admit, sure, it's not Sylvester Stallone voicing him, but that's one of my tiny gripes that I will learn to deal with and get over with. But yeah, I mean, I am excited for the next season. This series, I will admit, it was fun, it was enjoyable, I really like it, I highly recommend checking it out. Again, this is the beginning of James Gunn's new DC universe and what's to come later on. We will see these characters in live action right next to other characters that are in James Gunn's DC Studios universe. So yeah, again, I am looking forward to all of that and can't wait to see what happens next. So yeah, I will admit, I have faith in James Gunn. So that's pretty much everything I could say about the series. I mean, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend checking it out on Max. And, I'm definitely gonna go read some comics on them later on, and highly recommend checking out some comics on them as well if you want to well, just put some comic book knowledge of who they are in your head. But yeah, that's everything I could say. I mean, I might have missed a few things, but I would just be here forever and just talk about this series. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all liked this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. So just to continue on wrapping it up, don't forget to subscribe to my channel by hitting subscribe right down there, along with hitting the bell so you're notified for my next video. Don't forget to also, well, hit the thumbs up. I would really appreciate if you guys did that, but I would also really appreciate if you guys comment below. I'm always reading the comments and let me know what you guys thought about the series. But also, don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, all my social media, just right here. I just might follow you guys right back at you, but till next time, this is Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0 out and about, and catch you guys on the flip side.